I've been thinking about this basically since fucking Legion, when I first saw this problem and Preach highlighted it in like pugs and stuff. I'd be like, how do you solve this problem? Because I pug quite a bit because I just play World of Warcraft all times of the day and just hop in whenever else. And it's always a miserable experience. It's never good. And I always see these same problems like, man, why am I rolling the dice? It's like playing League of Legends, but worse. It's like playing League of Legends, but instead of 9 other people...
That is a shocking thing.
Yeah, instead of your skill mattering and you've been able to carry, you can't carry in World of Warcraft. You have to hope your team's half good. And it's like, it almost feels like the same where, you know, you play a game of League of Legends, you get 4 allies and 5 enemies. Sometimes it's 9 enemies. World of Warcraft, it always feels like you have 5 enemies and 4 allies, even though you're all fucking allies. That's what it feels like a lot of the time. And it's so much of that is just down to how the game's designed. And not intentionally. Just the, I guess, again, the unpriced externalities of what the culture of World of Warcraft has been over time, and the fact that people want rewards in World of Warcraft, so they can't do anything else except raid. And use the store. That's the 2 ways to get rewards. And you can get both through using the store, because you can just buy boosts now. So you don't want to take that away, because it's a demand for rewarding content. But no one wants to do it because it's hard. And they can't make it easy because everyone complains because it's too easy. And it doesn't make anyone better. So they have to completely change the mindset of all of their players in one patch. I certainly don't envy them. And this is the thing. I'm sure all of them, like, I can bet Ian has lost sleep thinking of this. Because they don't want that experience of people having a fucking bad time. That's why they're probably happy to have boosting. They're like, does this contribute to this culture? Absolutely. Absolutely, boosting contributes to this culture massively, because it is literally a Blizzard sanctioned way to be shit at the game and get rewards that you should get from being good at the game. That is literally what boosting is if you distill it enough. But it's a bandage, or a band-aid problem, to use an American term. It's a bandage problem. It is just a fucking wrapping up of the problem, when the real problem is no one wants to get good at World of Warcraft because it's, maybe some people don't find it satisfying to get good at. Maybe that's a game design issue. Maybe that's well, it is a game design issue that your culture is there, because everything's a game design issue in a virtual world. Fucking hell. Oh, what a hard time.
It's also tiresome.
Yeah.
It's also tiresome.
Yeah, I feel pretty...
That's...
See, you say FF solved this issue. FF didn't have this issue to begin with. FF didn't have 10 years of this issue and then have to solve it. The things that they have done have solved it, but they never had to pay the price that World of Warcraft would have to pay to solve this problem now. So it is the thing of, is the problem that bad? Is the problem worse than another problem? It's not like, you know, I'm trying to think of a good analogy for this. But is, you know, I don't even know. Yeah, you've got a choice of 2 weeds to pull out. Which weed do you pull out? And how much damage will they do? What are you going to lose with this stuff being removed? And it's like, is it worth it to amputate that leg of player base? Or will it be fine limping for a bit?
Yeah.
And can we kick this can down the road or something along those lines? I was like, FF definitely did. I mean, FF didn't create a 30 to 40% discrepancy between item level and gear between crafted group raid extreme content. Yes, it didn't. World of Warcraft has always, though, been so much more about the gear, and FF doesn't have world stuff in the same way. So players will do daily quests, and one of the big things about World of Warcraft was you were always incentivized to get a little bit of better loot so you could kill stuff a little bit faster. So you'd kill stuff a little bit easier. So your dailies were faster if you had better gear. So you were this fucking sick, full, just covered in perps, because that was the social thing at the time. Covered in perps, just cleaving through daily quests in fucking seconds, and you felt like a god. That's theoretically proven to be incompatible with how World of Warcraft is as a raiding game. Theoretically. And that's just not a problem you can solve in the short term without a substantial amount of damage. So that's kind of the problem. Is the problem worse than the cure? That's the question they kind of have to ask, I think. And that's... Or they can just leave things where they are and let the problem fester and try to solve it in other ways. So I think you solve this problem by having content that makes people don't raid. You make people raid less by giving them other shit to do. And that'll solve the problem too. Maybe. Hopefully. It's the only choice they have. I'm so sorry, Blizzard developers. I'm really sorry you have to think about this.
They're in a hellhole because of pugs.
Yeah.
And they're in a hellhole because of pugs, and then because they've inadvertently trained people to want the reward, not the fucking journey.
Yeah.
Cool.
And what happens if they don't train people to want the reward? They go, I'm going to go play a competitor MMO or competitor game, or I'm going to play a fucking, well, they'll be happy if they play the King game because the same customer giving them money. They're like, I want to go play, what's the other one? PopCap game. I'll play a PopCap game from EA on my phone because that's the one that has me by the, fuck, what is it?
Balls.
No, I'm trying.
Short and
I remembered what the balls were. I'm trying to remember what the part of the brain that that handles dopamine stuff in regards to pleasure. It's not the. Is it the mesolimbic system? No, that's the movement one. I can't remember. Anyway, they need to get people.
It's the happy box in your Think Sponge.
Yeah, they need to get They need to have people buy the Think Sponge happy box. Otherwise, someone else will grab the Think Sponge happy box.
That's it.
And that's the kind of the problem there too.